Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
You know, they do whatever it takes every year to ruin the holiday season.
Why do you say they're ruining it?
Dude, did you not notice that it is literally the middle of November and they're having Black Friday sales starting already?
They didn't just start in the middle of November. They started November 1st. The Halloween stuff left and the Black Friday deals rolled in.
It's insane. And they run into December.
Yeah.
Black Friday deals. Yeah.
I don't appreciate it.
And that's what I'm saying. It ruins the holiday because then the holiday becomes all about, oh, I've got to buy this. I've got to buy that. 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 Oh my God, that's on sale. I better buy it. No.
So last year, Torya had a pre-Black Friday sale the weekend before. And I was like, hey, there's some nice stuff. I'm going to buy some stuff. Then they put all the same stuff on 20% cheaper on actual Black Friday. Asked me how salty I was.
Yeah.
Guess who will not be shopping their pre-Black Friday sale?
That's the thing that
Anywhere.
companies near the holidays need to pay attention to. I don't care that they gave you, 30% off back in September and in November they're giving you 50% off. That doesn't bother me at all. But a week, yeah, that's going to piss someone off.
So this year, we will be waiting until actual Black Friday to shop any of the Black Friday sales.
Well, why not?
Because I trust no one to give us the best price until actual Black Friday. And even then, I'm sure they'll put stuff even more on sale after that because they're just assholes.
Well, you're right. They will put it, they'll probably cut it even a bigger discount.
Yeah. But in true us fashion, we will spend like 3 hours Christmas shopping online from the comfort of our living room, and then we'll be done.
Yep, that is true. That is very true. I mean, and that's an advantage to how people shop these days too,
But I'm with you that it's annoying because, one, you know what Veterans Day means to me.
Yes.
And I feel like Christmas had no respect for Veterans Day this year. Like, even less so than usual respect for Veterans Day this year. The Christmas stuff went out, of course, November 1st, whatever.
Well,
But
okay.
That I find disrespectful enough, okay? But then to start your Black Friday bullshit sales before Veterans Day as well just made me salty.
Well, but let me call you out on something. 'Cause, I was raised that, when this holiday happens, you decorate up until this day. And then by this day, it has to be, those decorations have to be down. And then for Christmas stuff, you don't put it out until the day after Thanksgiving. It's the earliest that Christmas stuff should be up. And then you laughed at me about all of that. But yet you're advocating for basically exactly what I said, which is
for you about that.
Well, you kind of did.
No, I didn't. I just said I really don't give a shit after the 11th of November because, quite frankly, American Thanksgiving is not super important as far as holidays go in my eyes. It was never a thing for the first 25 years of my life.
Understood.
So the holiday that it bothers me when Christmas doesn't wait for is Veterans Day. Because, well, it's called Veterans Day here. It's called Remembrance Day in Canada. It means something to me.
Well, okay, but I'm not being specific to the date. I'm just saying that in general, that it has to have respect for the time period of when it starts. And the reason that people picked American Thanksgiving is like the time when that would kick off was because it was an easy date to mark. Fourth Thursday of every November was Thanksgiving. So the next day after that is when you'd have Black Friday. Boom. Black Friday was the kickoff to Christmas sales. And so that was also when you would decorate for Christmas.
Right, because you would actually take the time and have respect for Halloween, Veterans Day, and Thanksgiving.
And we used to, like when I worked at the warehouse, we used to decorate the store with the Christmas decorations the night before Thanksgiving, after we closed, because then we didn't have to come in on Thanksgiving to do it. Because normally you would have done it for Thursday, but yeah, then it was ready for Black Friday, and we would open it like 5 a.m. and that'd be the Black Friday sale day. And the worst part was back then, gift certificates, which are super popular at the holidays, were handwritten, and the manager had to sign every single flippin' one before it went out the door.
Uh-huh.
It drove us insane, man. We were so crazy busy.
I would have not sold gift certificates on Black Friday if I were.
Yeah.
Without an additional purchase. How about
what we started doing was creating books of like $10 gift certificates, $20 gift certificates, 50 and 100. And then we would handwrite that part out. And then the managers would split up the books. And as soon as one would get signed, like they'd be, I need a $30, person would run over and sign, give it to them, take the extra carbon and throw it in a box that was behind the register. And you just kept doing that over and over and over again. Well, it worked. It worked great. It was way better than the year before where you tried to write every single one out. You just couldn't do that. It was awful. So you had to have a system, but it was kind of cool. Back then, Thanksgiving was more sacred. You didn't generally work. I mean, at one point they opened the video rentals because their theory was that it was a family holiday and families like to watch movies together.
Family couldn't come get the movie on Wednesday and return it on Friday.
Exactly. And then you say to yourself, why couldn't they make it that it's a 1-day rental from Wednesday to Friday?
Right.
And then nobody has to be open on Thursday.
If they rented a video on the 3rd of July, would it have to be returned on the 4th of July, a holiday?
Technically, yes.
Interesting.
Unless they were closed. But yeah, it was a weird time. It was a really, 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 really weird time in history for me.
I grew up watching. Okay, so I grew up obviously Canadian, and our
Really?
Thanksgiving is at a way more.
Oh, wait. You were Canadian.
At least once.
What do you mean were? You still Canadian?
You asked if I was Canadian, and I said at least once.
At least once?
Yes.
I'd say probably all the time, but okay.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Some days.
All right. Fair enough. I can live with that.
Thanksgiving was in October, the second Monday in October. American Columbus Day.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
And then you'd have Halloween, and then the Veterans Day, and then the Christmas would begin.
Is your Veterans Day the same time as our Veterans Day? Okay.
But it's called Remembrance Day.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I don't remember where I was going with my point.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay. And so then it'd be very confusing because you'd be watching TV, and then all of a sudden, all the TV is having Thanksgiving, and they'd put out their Thanksgiving specials. And I was like, Thanksgiving was a fucking month ago. Like, what is going on? I don't think I realized that American Thanksgiving was on crack until I was like 16.
And most people here don't know about Canadian Thanksgiving at all because it comes beforehand. So we don't usually get Canadian television. And when we do, we don't get the ads that come with it.
Well, Americans are relatively only America-centric.
Yes.
It is what it is. Like, more so than other countries. Most countries are fairly themselves-centric, but America's really American-centric. Anyway, then Black Friday would come around, and there was no Black Friday sales in Canada when I was a child. None. Nada. Zip, zero, and zilch. And I'd be like, First off, why the fuck did you pick a random holiday and then a random Friday in the middle of November, end of November, and like stampede each other for a TV that the store only had one of?
Yeah.
A bunch of idiots. And why did you camp outside in the snow to do so?
Yep.
All very confusing. You want to know Canadians have their big ass giant sale, or used to? Boxing Day. Because everybody would get gift certificates for Christmas, and then you'd go out and you would go fucking savage on Boxing Day and spend them.
Yeah. We do that here too, though. So,
but Boxing Day is not a thing here. There's just after Christmas sales.
Yeah, that's what they call it, but it's timed at the same time.
Right. Now
it's kind of like Veterans Day
and Boxing Day.
It's kind of like Veterans Day and Remembrance Day. Same thing, different name.
It's a statutory holiday in Canada, like Christmas Day.
That's Remembrance Day?
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day? Yeah, no, we don't have that.
So, like, it would always be a day off work.
Do you know what doesn't make sense about that?
Friday is here.
Okay, but hold on. It doesn't make sense to me. How can it be a mandatory day off and you go shopping? Who's manning the store that got the day off?
Just like Black Friday, retail employees would just get their, holiday pay.
That's funny.
But I never worked retail, so.
That's interesting. See, here, Black Friday is just, most places don't pay you extra money. It's not a holiday.
Right. It is. Boxing Day is in Canada a holiday. You get paid extra.
That's good. So then now that makes more sense, because the other way I was like, I don't understand. If they have to take the day off, if it's like a forced day off, who's manning the stores that they're shopping at? It would seem like the economy just shuts down for a day.
So people in the Crow's Nest Pass would go to midnight mass on Christmas Day, which was actually at like 9 p.m. because small town. Anyway,
do it on the Eastern time zones time. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, they'd go to midnight mass because everybody was Catholic. And then they would get in their cars and they would drive to Lethbridge, and then they would camp outside of Best Buy for the Boxing Day sales and the store to open at 5 a.m.
Just wow.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I mean, like,
it's the same insanity, but on a slightly different date.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's bound to be differences between countries and how they celebrate holidays. And like, look at the difference between, what is it? Mother's Day between Australia and here?
No, it's Father's Day.
Father's Day.
One of them's in June and one of them's in September.
Isn't that crazy? It's just totally different.
Especially since I'm pretty sure Father's Day in the UK is the same as here.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think holidays are interesting because depending on the locale you're from, you have like traditions and things that are normal to you that other people would be like, huh? You did what?
Oh, you mean like how Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving on any day between Saturday and Monday?
Which I love. I think that's the greatest concept ever.
It is the Thanksgiving weekend. The expectation is that at some point during that weekend, you have a large.
You will celebrate with a big gathering. Yes. Yes.
And some people will have 11 family meals that involve turkeys. And by Tuesday, they're 395 pounds heavier than they were on Friday. Whereas here, at least if the movie stereotypes are correct, people venture from one house to the next all in the same day, being expected to eat that level of food at every place.
To an extent.
That's intense.
Most people don't do more than 2 houses.
That's 2 houses is intense.
Well, not if you consider the fact that you're probably going to take seconds, right? So you only take one meal at one place and one meal at the other place. You had your seconds at the second place.
But what if the second place sucks? Then do you get to go back to the first place and have seconds there instead?
I suppose you could. They invited you. It all depends on if there was the big old formal goodbye. See you later. It was nice to have you here. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Please leave. I'm taking off my pants now. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, if you got that, you're done. Don't bother knocking on my door.
I mean, unless you don't want to wear pants together, I suppose.
That's weird. No, don't go there. That's just weird.
Yikes.
Just very weird. So I started my quest today to drink more coffee in the morning. And I know it sounds weird to people, but when I drink more coffee, I snack less overall. I don't know. The caffeine stays with me for a while, and it makes me. It's like an appetite suppressant. So, and it doesn't seem to have any harmful effects on me. So I'm watching for that. But I started that today, and it was nice. I had three things that size of coffee today.
And an energy drink. Don't let your heart explode, okay? Because I'm kind of fond of you.
Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on things.
Okie doke.
Actually, it was only 2 of those because that was the second one. So even with the energy drink, I was good.
You have the most glorious giant mug from Thought Merch sitting on your desk right now.
Yeah,
It's my sentiment every single day. This mug just says, I don't care.
Yeah, it's there because I have to do the social media content. And, Thought Merch has these crazy sayings. And so I don't want to just do something mundane that would be boring. I want to do something more fun and exciting to do justice to the masterpiece, I'd say, that the merch is, And yeah, this is like a big mug. If you guys like to drink coffee, this is like a 2-cupper here, right here. This mug.
To be fair, it comes in 3 different sizes,
3-cupper.
and I decided colossal was the size you needed.
And that's colossal, and it's so colossal that like you could fill that thing up and that'd be it. You don't need any more coffee for the day.
I'm pretty sure it's 21 ounces, is what it said.
Yeah, and it says I don't care.
And it's perfect for a left-handed person or a right-handed person because it says I don't
It's
care
on both sides. And it's got a period at the end, so it's like I don't care. Period. I love it. But
this guy, I'll put a link to the I don't care mug in the description.
Yeah, we'll get that in there. And bump.
How are you going to sleep tonight after you've had 17,802 grams of caffeine today?
I've only had 600 grams of caffeine. Milligrams, not grams. If I had 600 grams, I'd be dead.
17,892 grams of caffeine.
Milligrams.
How are you going to sleep after that much caffeine?
Milligrams.
I wouldn't sleep. Do you remember that day?
I really don't want to get labeled with medical misinformation, so please, milligrams.
Do you remember that day last week where I had the large kicker coffee from Dutch Bros, and then we went to the farmer's market and I had a latte, a large
wasn't that
latte?
Just Saturday?
Yeah. Then I was a little weird for the rest of the day.
You were pretty wired.
Yeah.
You were pretty wired.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long day for us. We started our day early and we didn't get home until 11 o'clock.
No, we didn't get home till after that because we didn't leave Summerlin until noon.
No. I mean, PM. Oh. We came home, then we went out again.
Yeah.
And we went to the rodeo, and then we went to dinner, and then we went to watch the band play.
That is a
iconic
whole episode for another day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The dinner alone could be an episode for another day. Let's just say. But yeah, the rodeo. We'll talk about that. We always seem to talk about that now. Well, last year we talked about it, and that was our first year here. Vegas. So there you go. So that's all I got for you, people. Pick yourself up some more merch. Like she says, the I don't care mug. The link will be in the description.
It also comes in
get
t-shirt.
to it. It comes in a t-shirt as well. So if you go check out the site, you'll see a lot of funny, disrespectful, sassy merch, and it's what it's there for, and that's why it's called Thought Merch, because it's supposed to make people think. It's the whole point. And you know what? I want to before we end here, and since we're kind of doing a commercial, let's commercial this. Sarcasm in and of itself is a form of communication, period, the end. And if people soon discover that, they would stop being offended by sarcasm and just realize that it's a different way of communicating the same message. Like if you would say, I don't like that, I might say, that sucks. Same thing. Means the same thing. I'm just being an ass.
What a load of hot garbage.
There you go. See, like it doesn't mean it's any worse. I mean, you don't like this. I think it's a load of hot garbage. What's the difference? So learn that sarcasm is its own form of communication, and you won't have so many problems when people are sarcastic. And thank you for letting me jump up on my soapbox and talk about sarcasm. This has been my TED Talk.
Now, for those of us who didn't have 17,000 milligrams of caffeine today, good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye, sleepy people.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.